Each one of these collars is electronically linked to another prisoner's collar. If they're ever separated by more than 100 yards...
Have you ever seen those movies where there's like a chip in somebody's head? It's a little like bomb implant, and it's gonna go off in like 24 hours if they don't complete a task. The bomb's gonna go off and short circuit them. Right? You've seen movies like that? Well, sometimes if you have a goal, one thing you can do is think to yourself, what if my head were going to explode if I didn't finish this in the next 90 days? You can even say, what would I do different if I knew in 100 days, if I wasn't making $10,000 a month, my head would explode? Or you can get even crazier and think, what if there were bombs strapped to my family's head? Or a bomb strapped to my family, and if I didn't start making $10,000 in the next 100 days, or $5,000 or $3,000 a month in the next 100 days, they would all be blown up. It's an interesting thought experiment, right? Puts pressure on you. So I like that idea. I like putting this sort of pressure on yourself. It's something you have to think about when you start a goal. Meaning you can probably get to where you need to go faster if you put pressure on yourself. Peter Thiel had this great question you should ask. He said, write down all of your goals, all your big goals, and then ask yourself this question. How could I accomplish this in 6 months? Like maybe you have a goal you think you could accomplish in 10 years. Take that and say, how could I accomplish this in 6 months? How could I revolutionize my sport, my field, whatever I do, my business, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month? It's a great question. Elon Musk told one of his engineers that the engineer was having a very challenging problem. And Elon pulled him to the side and he said, if I strapped a bomb to your head and told you it was going off in 6 months, how would you solve this problem? Different frame. Great leaders reframe things for you to think about things. Okay, you're capable of more. You can work faster. You can be smarter. You just need some external pressure. And you need some internal pressure to change the frame. Okay, I'm going to die in 6 months if I don't do this. Or my family or my pets are going to die in 6 months if I don't figure out a way to solve this problem. It changes the way you think. It gives you a sense of urgency. I meet people all the time. They're like, next year I'm going to do this, or in 6 months I'll do that. 6 months, you really might be dead. There's no time like now. We always say, what time is it? It's now 0:00. It's time to do it. So I'm challenging you. What's your big goals? What's your big dreams? What skill do you need to acquire? And if I said, I'm putting a bomb on your head and it will explode in 3 months if you don't do it, how would you get it done? Who would you seek out for advice? Would you go to Udemy and buy courses? Would you go to Skillshare? That'd be by the way, if they were a sponsor, wouldn't that be a great segue? There's a bomb on your head. You got to learn how to code. You better go to Udemy today. Anyways, what is it you need to learn and do? What do you need to achieve? And then put a time constraint on you and get serious. Sit down and write down, what do I need to do if this has to happen in 3 months? How many hours a day do I realistically have to put in? And it's not going to be 8, guys. 8 hours is for the average. You're looking at 12, 13, 14 hours. Total commitment, but it's joyous. It's so much fun to work like that. So, what if I strapped a bomb to your head? And I said, okay, you have 6 months or 3 months to achieve this goal you think is going to take you a year. Maybe you only need a month. What if I told you had to do it in 1 month? What would change? Your whole life, if you really understand that, all of your behaviors and actions, the time you wake up, the time you go to bed, your energy levels, who you're willing to call, you will be a different person. You will call anybody. If you were really going to die in 6 months or a month and you needed to acquire something, you would call everybody. If you needed money, you'd call, you'd get investors, especially if it was somebody you loved was going to die. You would start reading, you'd sleep less, you would do everything to save yourself and save those you love. So try that out. Like, see if you can do it for 30 days at least. Pretend like in 30 days your head will explode if you don't achieve or acquire the skill you're looking for. All right? Give it a try. It's not just a thought experiment. Make it real. Use your imagination. Be a child. Children are scared of the dark because they think there are really monsters there. Get in your mind, your head will actually explode if you don't achieve the goal. Use your imagination. Make it real. Get lost in the imagination. Get lost in the threat that you have in your imagination of the bomb going off. Peace.